ONDO Finance seems to be making big moves. Everything sounds amazing. Tokenized treasuries, RWA growth, new partnerships. It all looks like the next big thing in DeFi. But here's the thing. Behind all that excitement, there's a truth most investors are ignoring. And if you're thinking about buying ONDO, you need to hear this first. Hey guys, today I'm breaking down what's really happening with ONDO, the hype, the risks, and why its price doesn't move the way you expect. Quick disclaimer before we start. This is not financial advice. I'm just sharing my research and opinions so you can make your own informed decisions. Alright, so let's get into it. ONDO Finance has been one of the biggest names in the real-world asset space lately. They've made strong moves launching tokenized US treasuries, expanding RWA integrations, and even seeing their total value locked explode in recent months. On paper, it looks like everything's going perfectly. But when you check the price action, it tells a different story. Despite all these bullish headlines, ONDO's price has been frustratingly stagnant. And if you spend any time on Reddit or X, you'll see tons of retail traders asking the same question. Why isn't ONDO pumping? Here's one possible reason. The volatility trap. A lot of big players might be using ONDO's momentum to their advantage. Think about it. When positive news drops, they sell into retail excitement, take profits, then buy back lower. It's a cycle that creates constant volatility and prevents the token from sustaining real growth. Now, here's where things get a bit worrying. Data from multiple on-chain sources shows that around 70 to 76% of all ONDO tokens are held by large institutions and major funds. That's an enormous concentration of control. On one hand, it signals trust and long-term interest, but on the other, it raises a huge red flag. Because when just a few players hold most of the supply, they can move the market whenever they want. One coordinated sell-off could crash the token. One aggressive accumulation could pump it unnaturally high. And experts are warning about this dynamic too. Kaiko Research noted that ONDO structure could remain bearish if the RWA narrative cools down or if the Federal Reserve keeps rates high. Remember, ONDO's entire ecosystem depends on the yield environment. If those yields fall or institutional demand slows, its core appeal might fade quickly. There's also another valid concern. Utility. Beyond governance, what does the ONDO token really do? Some investors argue that without deeper use cases like staking rewards, protocol fees, or direct exposure to RWAs, the token's value might not reflect the project's overall success, and that disconnect could weigh on price for a long time. So, here's the bottom line. ONDO Finance is a serious player in the RWA revolution. But smart investors don't just chase hype. They understand where the power lies, who controls the supply, and what drives real value. Before you buy, know this. Volatility, institutional dominance, and limited utility could make or break ONDO's future. Stay cautious. Do your research and, as always, don't get caught off guard. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button. I'll be covering ONDO's next moves and whether it can break out of this institutional chokehold. This is Captain Altcoin signing off.